Hello, good evening, and welcome to Dicesylvania.
Dicesylvania!
We are a bunch of lovable geeks who meet every Sunday and play Dungeons and Dragons.
Dungeons and Dragons!
Speak very beautiful vampire English.
Vampire English!
Oh my god.
Oh, there's an echo.
The delay, yeah, we have like live sound
Paris
effects.
and the tables.
So, I am Count Bear, your DM for Eyceras, the realm where the Earth Genasi seem to be born the same way as the Urukai.
Who do you serve?
The aerialite
rehearse
gem.
Do we ever? Why
So,
was I not invited?
stick around to discover this real-time storytelling experience between myself and these brave adventurers, who will quickly go introduce them, starting with...
Hi, I'm Radish, and I'll be playing. It's a goblin, and.
It's amnesia goblin.
Oh yes, in this episode I had amnesia. Thank you for reminding me. Next up.
Oh, wow. Who's Amnesia? I'm Alex. Playing Exilo or Wither, the alien-looking three-person widow sprinkled of religious fanaticisms.
I'm Karla. I play Whisper carried by a breeze to the northwest to the tempest fest before becoming the wind underneath the eagle wings, fallacy, perspective of that run.
You got it right.
And I am an Earth Genasi non-binary that just found out about their mysterious past.
Well, now I can't use the word mysterious anymore. Hello, I'm Ionuț, and I play Sildren. And he's a Leonin mercenary that has some hidden powers, or I don't know. We'll see. Not mysterious powers.
Non-mysterious. No, yeah.
Hi, I'm Karina. I'll be playing today as Zolux, a spiritual Earth Genasi linked with the Green Gem, who is also the patron of a halfling warlock called Sippy that was tortured into being good and didn't happen yet.
You forgot to use mysterious in your mysterious.
I'm not mysterious. I just told you everything. So. Next.
She's just miss.
And I'm Rux. I'll be playing Shelly, the naive turtle barbarian who has no memory of the last session.
But she's mysterious.
It's like amnesia as a group thing.
The last session is mysterious for me.
And I'm Len. I'll be playing a human vampire, and that's it. I'm not mysterious anymore.
Press X to doubt.
Can we just
Test failed successfully.
name this entire episode mysterious so people won't know why it's mysterious and it basically they
If
have
it's
to
not,
see
yes.
the
If it's
first
not
part?
That can be
mysterious,
done.
someone didn't do their job in post-production, which is also us.
Mysteriously, no one did their job.
I'm gonna talk to the people
Can
who
we
do the
play-
credits.
Ah, alright.
We can blame it on mysterious.
Oh.
With everything.
Oh, is that an NPC?
It's our producer,
We want to make the
It's-
NPC mysterious.
It's our producer slash copywriter slash everyone. Everyone.
So,
Editing everything.
quickly, before starting the show, some announcements for our friends.
Ooh. After all these years, we finally found it.
Are you sure? I mean, it could be a red herring. We get so much of those.
Only, wait, one way to find out.
Just be careful.
Oh, don't worry, I know the words. Almighty artifact, long forgotten. What wisdom can you share with us today?
Who dares to disturb the elemental beacon? The place for all your geeky needs, like clothing, accessories, and miniatures and maps.
Wow.
But that is not all. If you head on over to elementalbeacon.com or elementalbeacon.com/ro, it's displayed right over there. You can get a 10% off a discount on everything for 8 months.
Wow, that was weird, man.
Yeah, but look on the bright side. We will be rich!
Yay!
Yay! Thank you, Elemental Beacon!
Next one.
I almost shown the logo of Harry Potter, but
Almost.
This is where we introduce beeping. Post-production.
no, we don't.
No, we don't.
No, we don't. No, we had the puppy that one time. It was amazing.
Thank you, Miss.
Fudge you, Rares. Fudge you.
Fudge you?
Fudge you.
Okay, yeah, that's appropriate.
Oh,
No, I want fudge. I hope you're proud.
So,
Take a carrot.
Keep rolling. Keep rolling. Yes, you guessed
Oh.
it. It's our friends at Rolling Hills Craft who blended always their awesome skills, helping us time and time again with their sublimely painted miniatures. Yes, I also have a sticker here somewhere.
Yeah.
And impressive terrain pieces that you've seen. And this teeny weeny itsy bitsy lovely potions. They're so cute that I'll probably steal one at a certain point when nobody's watching. No.
You probably choke on the dice when you try to drink
my
them.
rogue days are behind you.
wow.
Check them out at rollinghillscraft.com as shown here and use our promo code that will magically appear right now, probably on screen. I don't know. I can't see that far. And get
Far into the future.
into the future and get 10% off every purchase. And also speaking of the future, the code is available for 8 months. 8 months. Yes, and thank you so much for being a part of our stream.
Like a tiny human baby. Thank you.
What? 8 months?
Yeah.
8 months, yes.
Thank you, Rolling Hills.
Thank you.
thank you. Left.
Also, we have some exciting news. Something's brewing in our lovely Bucharest that will entice seasoned players and newcomers alike. The first edition of D&D Day is coming up on June 4th. Hosted by our friends at Bucharest Geek Hub and Elemental Beacon. The event, we have everything from one-shot adventures whose DMs count our own Karla and Count Bear,
Among others.
to painting sessions with Rolling Hillscraft and Roll for Initiative folks, from quests and games to gift shops. We're super thrilled to be part of this event and watch the
Yes,
community
we are.
being brought together in a
guys.
day of pure fun. Check out dndday.com for more information.
It's gonna rock.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, which also, by the way, we will be streaming live from the event, just so you know.
Wow.
We are? Oh no! Shit!
I didn't get a memo!
Someone get
So-
memos.
You guys get memos?
There's the internet!
Wow!
What's the memo?
And
Finding memo.
quickly, remember that if you wish to spice up the atmosphere and music ambience of your session, just go check out Serenescape. So, and also a kind reminder that if you do like our content, please consider subscribing on our Twitch and YouTube. Click. And
If you like it, put a
Click on it.
subscribe on it.
yeah. And if you're feeling particularly spicy, we really appreciate your likes and comments. We're checking them, and
And also you can buy us the coffee.
I heard coffin and I'm just laughing deep down inside.
You can buy us a coffin. Please don't.
Coffins are not cheap,
A
so.
coffin in a coffin.
it's better
True.
coffee.
Yeah,
But
but
appropriate for vampires.
Yeah, maybe it's just like a pole, you know, and you sleep upside down. And that's
You know, at home, like, I have my coffin for so long, I could use the replacement.
yeah. Oh my God, you guys have a coffin. I just lay on the upside down from the ceiling, and that's it with the curtains.
Oh, man.
You guys are really vampires? I'm leaving.
No, we are
No.
not vampires. We are just
We are,
humans with long teeth.
yeah.
They talk their blood.
We are just some geeky folks who will now go ahead and roll into Dicesylvania's next adventure in Eyceras.
Eyceras!
Why are you doing
Je
this?
suis Vasile Mure.
Welcome to Dicesylvania's epidemic report.
Children, please. So, we start the session with a recap on what happened the previous sessions, and we see the party arriving at Gravel Grotto, the place where the Earth Genasi dwell, and seem to have the Aerialite, this mystical gem which contains their souls, from which they form and take part. But at the cave entrance in the tunnels, there was a scuffle as Zolux took over Sipi and started manifesting his rampage and acts of revenge upon them. And while the Earth Genasi guards tried to stop them from approaching by using a cave-in, the party somewhat split, as some made it past the cave-in and some remained behind. And as such, Whisper, Xylo, Shelly, and Draven were led by Clay, one of the Earth Genasi, into the village proper, to Gravel Grotto proper, where they've met with their spiritual leader, Jem, who also witnessed the birthing of a newly born Genasi, but afterwards they've started asking questions left and right, and found out that about the Aerialite gem and the way that the souls of these folks have this natural affinity to return to it and cycle, so to say, recycle their life essence, and in turn giving strength to the Aerialite. And also from this they found out that Zolux used to be a once so to say savior figure of their people from a long time past, that the Genasi would pretty much love to bring him back rather than destroy him. And other than that, after other brief discussions, Shelly remained behind with the Earth Genasi to try to uncover the secrets or mysteries of the ring he's been carrying with the soul of his uncle inside, while the rest went to regroup with the other part of the party and see what conclusion they come up with. But now that we start the episode, I want to start first with you, Shelly. As yeah,
Hello. Spotlight.
and yeah. So as you remain there behind, Jem immediately introduces you to another Earth Genasi fella. That this one has a female body of sorts, and also again wears their sort of more tribal sort of outfits with some more baggy looking trousers, and also some sort of bandage wrappings around her waist and all over the place. Again, wears all sorts of those monk beads, like amulets and bracelets. But
You said beats.
Carry on.
children!
You're too innocent. It's okay.
Imagine avoiding any weird freaking word there is in the book and then saying beats.
Like all of them.
And half of the party is He's like, okay.
Been there, done that.
I was just fixed on a woman of swords.
What?
Never mind.
Never mind.
Anyway,
Okay.
One other interesting aspect of her outfit that you see is that hanging somewhere around their belt is a sort of wooden mask that you recognize, you've seen before as a symbol of Ammon Totem. And as Jem then presents them to you, Jem says, so I'd like to present you Cobble. She is our mineral expert of sorts. And then Cobble approaches you.
Can you
Hello.
spell that?
Cobble, as in cobblestone.
Oh,
Like in cobblestone, it's just cobble. And yeah, Cobble approaches you, and so I've heard that. Hello, your name?
it's Shelly, but you can call me Shelly if you want to be friends. I can be friends.
All right, Shelly, I'm Cobble. Pleased to meet you. And I've heard from Master Jam that you have an interesting piece of
Oh, this whole
jewelry.
thing? Yes, my uncle gave me this right before he died, and then when he died, I could suddenly hear him in my head.
Interesting.
It
Yes.
is.
It looks a bit and does some calculation in their head, but
Is she blonde? By any chance?
they actually have some sort of a more shorter hair. It's somewhat spiky, as in like the spikes are again like rock pieces,
Oh, man, that's cool.
jagged rock pieces, and
It's kind of like mites.
yeah.
Your hair rocks, but
I appreciate it. And as soon as it goes to take a look at the ring, gives a glance towards Gem, and yeah, and
you see like this pretty small ring on Shelly's stubby fingers,
yeah.
barely hanging on there.
I guess this is as they're talking between themselves now. I guess this is that piece of geom heart that Rocksteady used to have, right? And it seems like, and then no, but
It's not beating.
it's. Here is a bit of recap for you and as well for the audience, as I didn't mention this previously, but what also said previously is that so there is the aerialite which contains the souls of the Earth Genasi, but there is also the geom heart, which is basically the evil kind of version of the aerialite that mainly contains the essence of Bor. But it's the aerialite. The geom heart. It's the piece of gemstone that also is used to corrupt other souls. So, yeah, Cobble approaches you and then says, you said you could hear your uncle's thoughts.
Well, I can't hear him now, and not just because, he was talking to me. We were having conversations. He used to tell me all these stories about how he traveled, and I liked talking to him.
Because honestly, even hearing this, it's quite interesting development.
I have never been called interesting before.
I mean,
Thank you.
we rarely have the opportunity to interact with outsiders here in Gravel Grotto, so definitely yeah, you're an interesting person. But speaking about the piece of jewelry, it's an interesting development seeing that a non-Genasi soul has been absorbed into it. Haven't quite heard of this phenomenon, but nonetheless, with your permission, if you'd allow, I'd wish to perform this sacred rite bestowed by shamans of Amantotal in order to get a better understanding of the soul within it.
Do I have to move this on my right hand?
No, it's
You're thinking about the sacred left.
Oh my god,
That makes one of us. Secret right, and I said I have this on my
exactly.
The collective facepalm.
and I rolls.
yeah.
Yeah, not only dice are rolling this session, guys.
So no, it should be fine. Here, if you may take a seat, and I'll start the rite. I mean,
Oh, no, I know this. Wait, I'm not supposed to take this.
yes, just, thank you. And what happens is that this Earth Genasi, they start taking all sorts of herbs, mud, and soil that starts mixing them and blending them, while also chanting some arcane words. That this concoction starts glowing slightly, and afterwards it starts sort of like sprinkling over the ring and such, and soon after it starts chanting some sort of hymn that seems to put them in a sort of trance. And as it puts them, but funnily enough, at first you don't feel anything, but slowly you also, as Cobble starts working their magic upon the ring, you as well, Shelly, start feeling at ease and slowly falling into a trance due to your unique attunement to with the gem and the thoughts of your uncle. Your mind is then pulled through a light tunnel of sorts, only guided by the ever-persistent hymn of the Earth Genasi's voice. As you reach the end of this tunnel, you find yourself standing above a scene. You can't quite make out what it is, since it's enveloped by a dark green smoke, but only hear faint and muffled tavern songs. Cobble, standing there with you, amazed by the fact that you're also within this space. This soul space.
Can I talk to him? I mean, does he hear me? Or?
He just gives you a glance, but you then quickly turns to him chanting, and you seem that he's very, very focused on what he's doing. Like whatever you might say, he's right there in his mind space, so to say. And because their focus and determination does not falter, and with new conviction starts another hymn that slowly affects the clouded scene, removing it bit by bit. And as soon as it clears out, you can now see a rowdy tavern in which many individuals have fun, partaking in all sorts of revelries. Amongst them, you spot an older turtle, slightly resembling you, but a bit more wrinkly and a darker skin of tone. And you recognize him as being your uncle, Karak.
Hello, Uncle. But he probably doesn't hear me.
Yeah, as well. Like at this point, with all the commotion that's happening in there, he seems quite focused because he right now seems to be at the center of attention as he tells all sorts of wild tales of his adventures, and folks around him all cheer and laugh and have a good time. Because he didn't spot you. But after a brief time, he excuses himself and stands up to walk towards the bar area. And after ordering a drink, he then takes a seat at one of the bar stools. And next to him, from beneath the floor, emerges the same dark greenish smoke that was enveloping the scene, but this time it takes the form of your uncle. The only difference being that you can see in this shadowy Karak version a dark green gem at the center of it, at the heart, that's pulsating ominously now and then. Your uncle notices this, and after a frightful jump, he addresses his shadow self. Oi, blimey, you again? What you doing here? Told you to leave me alone. And the voice says, leave you alone? How amusing. I'm always here, lurking in your shadows, waiting for the perfect moment to remind you of your true self. True self? You're just a figment of my imagination, a drunken hallucination no more. Ah, the denial begins. But tell me, is that alcohol you're consuming helping you with your inherent cowardice and regrets? You drown your fear at the bottom of a bowl, hoping they'll disappear. But they're still here, haunting you. Shut up! I ain't a coward. Really? Remember the time you had the chance to stand up for yourself, to do and fight for what's right and what you believe in. You cowered away, afraid of the consequences. It's pathetic, really. I had my reasons. You don't understand. Reasons? Excuses, you mean? You're so terrified of death and responsibility that even now you're actively trying to reject the fact that you abandoned those poor souls in Alaquenza only to save your skin. What was supposed to be your greatest achievement in uncovering the secret behind the eruption of ages only broke you and left you a frailed old fool. And those lies you've been telling yourself only made you drown deeper in your misery. And now you see as Karak just starts spacing out and looking quite deeper within his mug, and he's slightly shaking and shivering, and you see him kind of slowly falling to despair. So What do you do, Shelly?
I'm obviously taken aback by this image because I wasn't expecting to see him. I hadn't seen him in a really long time, and usually he's so confident and so sure of himself. He's always cheerful with a bit of sarcasm, with a bit of zest.
Yeah.
And I don't really understand what's going on there. So I turn to Cobble and what is this? Where are we? What's going on?
Cobble says, well, this is a soul link ability that I've learned from the Amantotal shamans. It usually takes you to, let's say, a
Nirvana.
space, but to safe space, to one's person, let's say, deepest happy place, their comfort zone, so to say. But what I can say is that one, I can distract the shadow self if you need to, the shadow version of your uncle, the corruption that resides within this gem. While you have a talk with your uncle, though know that we can't really physically interact with this space. We can talk to them, but anything that happens within must come from the person, so to say.
So he will be able to hear me.
Yes.
But what is that thing? I think I've heard it at one point. I think it talked to me. And I knew it wasn't my uncle, not really.
It's well, that shadowy form, it's basically the corruption. It's interesting as well, since this is the first time I performed this ritual on somebody that is not a Genasi, and it definitely is a strange experience for me as well. Normally, in our case, the corruption would be way more violent, so to say. But in here, there seems that you are able to have some, your uncle seems to have some control over it. You might as well, if I may suggest, speak to him and make him realize on how to fight the corruption himself. Only he can affect this.
I want to speak to my uncle.
Sure. You can approach him.
I approach him slowly because I don't know how it's
Yeah,
That's the only way I know how to.
because at this point, what do you call the shadowy Karak? Cobble approaches as well slightly, but the shadowy Karak sort of reacts to his presence. It seems like it doesn't notice yours. Like as soon as you approach, it doesn't even look that your way, but it notices the Genasi's presence more, and it reacts to it and kind of goes in a defensive position, almost like slowly just backing away, as in filling corners, so to say. But during this time, you can approach your uncle, who is still sitting there and trembling with his mug, and all of the things he's heard so far seems to get to him, and you've never seen your uncle this way. It's the first time then when you saw him vulnerable, so to say, because he usually always kept like a happy demeanor, as you said, and very cheerful,
very
but
stoic, very.
Mhm.
I go next to the bar. And I try to put one arm on his shoulder and say, Uncle Karla, it's me, Shelly.
He again just
Flinches.
scares a little bit. Well, I mean, you scare me too, but it's good to see you, Shelly. How have you been, my boy?
Well, I think I've been doing pretty good for myself. I found myself some new friends that we travel, we get into trouble, but we get out of trouble at the same time. It's been fun, but let's not talk about me. What's happening? Do you have something to tell me?
No, it's all good, it's fine.
I can see you're troubled.
Oh.
I don't think I've ever seen you. I've never seen this look in your eyes. And I've gotten really good, moderately good in telling when people are lying to me.
Nice Eve. Diplomacy.
Right.
I'm worried about you.
Screw it.
No,
I'm just a fake. I'm.
what do you mean? You're a fake. You seem pretty real. I mean, I am.
Oh yeah, of course. It's funny, right? How I mean, my body died, but I'm here, living the life and all, and having you, my nephew, to talk to. It's quite crazy. But anyway,
So why do you say you're a fake?
well. Some of the stories I've told you, the extra flair, so to say, I've added, may or may not be true all the time. Of course, I traveled all over the place, met interesting folks, had a great time, okay, I'll be honest with you. I can't do this anymore. It pretty much all went down the drain when I was in Alaquenza a few good years back, and I've met these guys. They call the Secret Seekers. And they were a group of, let's call them, treasure hunters or vigilantes. I'm not quite sure, but I left El Tuchabo seeking fame, fortune, and making a name for myself. And I thought this could be my chance. Go with these fellas. And what they all did was that they found this secret entrance into the illustrious Soul District. It's, I told you, nephew, it's where the eruption of ages happen.
The eruption of
ages happen, yeah.
Tell us again, what is the eruption of ages? We would know, but
Okay, yeah.
It helps to have some context.
definitely.
Yeah, sure. Eruption of ages, basically, it was this massive cataclysm that happened inside the city of Alaquenza around 30 or 40 years ago, something like that, and it destroyed pretty much, let's say, a quarter of the entire capital city of Alaquenza, leaving it in ruins. And in its this entire district was then sort of closed off, from the public, deeming it not safe, basically. And but in its remains, this eruption wasn't like an earthquake or anything. It's actually like the earth cracked a little bit, but just to allow for this what do you call, obelisk sort of, and pillars of strange metallic design with weird runic inscriptions to just surface violently from below. And
So everybody, this is common knowledge. Everyone
Yes.
should know, including Shelly and so on.
yes, but nobody, and there are a lot of rumors, like people make all sorts of theories or conspiracy theories or whatnot regarding what triggered it or what happened, and
So it's not the
So
common
its
knowledge.
nature is not known.
it's not known like what triggered it, what happened,
Okay.
but it's known that it's there, like
Okay.
it's still there, like, and it's known that there, even to this day, there are folks approved, so to say, and to investigate it, like.
Other people are not allowed. Only
Yeah,
the
but
people
public
that are,
no, but
okay.
just some, so say, officials, some.
Okay, scientists or
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, along those lines.
So it's
that-
like a CSI of CSI.
Yeah. CSI Eloquenza.
Okay.
Exactly.
This is a case of pilot dying.
Oh god, no.
Pala dead here.
Yeah. So yeah, he says yeah, with with this group of treasure hunters, the secret seekers, it sounded like a great adventure somewhere where I could make my fortune and fame. So I decided to group up with them, and at some point we actually went inside, and inside the district, and well, all went down when we found sort of a descent deeper into this earthquake. But oh boy, let me tell you, it's filled with perils left and right, and even to this day, like, it's hard to get off my conscience the fact that because of me, I triggered a deadly trap that ended up in killing pretty much the rest of the folks I went delving with. I just got out of there by the skin of my teeth. Is that the right thing? And by sheer luck. But it's my fault. I should have stayed there with them. I should have fought.
Should have died along
I-
with them? Is that
It's what most of the time I feel. But since then,
I think you're feeling guilty, and that proves that you're not as bad as you might think you are.
yeah, but after that I've only been living in this ignorance and trying to forget and deny it, and if anything, just replace it with all sorts of lies and deceit. Heck, I even started drinking a lot, but I don't know. And since a week or something ago, there's always been this goddamn parasite, shadowy folk just messing with me, and I don't know how much I can take it, the torment.
That shadowy folk looked very much a lot like you. So maybe your guilt took that form because you let it overwhelm you. But it seems to me like it was an accident and you had no choice. And now you're blaming yourself for surviving.
Yeah, you know,
Accidents don't make you a bad person. They just happen, and they happen to good people too. And there's nothing we can do about it.
Yeah.
Just try to learn from them.
as you said you had your arm like on his shoulder, he also grabs it, puts his arm on top of yours, and says,
I win.
Touchy moment.
And then he's like, he stays there for a bit thinking, my boy, you out of the entire family, you are always there to understand me, and I feel like you've always known what to say to me.
That's because out of our entire family, you were always the one I looked up to because nobody else understood me. So, in a way, me being here and talking to you, and after all the adventures I've been through, I would have never had the courage to leave El Tuciabo and actually walk in your footsteps and travel and meet new people and make friends. They're like a family now.
He tells you that yeah, you got yourself there some very nice folks, you know. Be there for them. Don't do the same mistake I did. But again, you're always the wisest of the family, so thank you, Shelly. And at that point, you see him that he's has a new found vigor and hope, so to say, and turns then towards the shadow self, which during this time, like cobbled, was only there, like clutching some beads. And also continuing the hymn while kind of looking towards the shadowy Karak. And yeah, your uncle then stands up and heads towards his shadow self and tells him straight to the face. So what if my tales had an extra flair to them? It was for the purpose of entertainment and inspiring awe and travel and discovery to others, such as my boy right here. Oh, am I lucky for him that he made me realize some things. And addressing it now even deeper, like getting a bit closer to the shadow self. So, you know, you're somewhat right, you smoky fella. I can't run away from the past or deny it. So, I've chosen to embrace my mistakes, my accidents, and become the person I'm supposed to be. So, come here, give Papa Karak a hug, and be part of me. And
Do not.
And as the shadow then switches again, focus towards Karak, there's a slight grin, and as he gets ready to envelop Karak, your uncle, with a swift maneuver, sidesteps, and leaving the shadow vulnerable for just a brief second, during which he goes and grabs the dark green gem at the heart of the shadow itself, pulls it out, and then shatters it in his palm. And yeah, just crumbling, leaving dust all over the floor, dissipating the rest then of the shadowy form. And he, with a relief, oh boy, is he gone? Is he gone for real this time?
I think he went away. Wow, that was very brave of you, Uncle. Confronting your darker self like that.
Well, what can I say? You have yet to thank me, and now I guess also we can communicate. I can keep on telling you jokes on the travel and all that, but
I think I'd like that. But you know, I think it's time I make you a promise. I can see that this Alaquinza district is very important to you. How about we go together on a quest? Seeing that I'm not alone.
oh,
Why not?
that would be wonderful. Though I gotta warn you, nephew, it's quite dangerous.
With this group, I think we can do anything. We are the danger.
Especially,
We're in danger. We are the danger.
especially to innocent taverns and other businesses.
You are in danger with us.
We are the danger.
Oh wow.
Someone knocks on the door. You think we're in danger? No, we are the ones who knock.
I bow.
Nice.
I bow.
So, blimey, yeah, I'd like that. But yeah, just don't do the same mistake as I did. Just trust in your friends and be there for them. And whenever the time comes, nephew, I mean, I just talk to you whenever in your mind. That's how it works, right? I'm still confused.
Yes, apparently only I can hear you, which is a drag for the rest of the people, but... Well,
Yeah. Still, wow. So now we can go back to drinking and wild tales. I've got this good one that's from Nopria when I've been. Did I tell you I know the proprietor of the old steed pub? Come on, I'll tell you a story. And then he stands up, starts going towards the bar, but Cobble, who is next to you, he then says that we don't have too much time in this soul space. We have to go back very soon. Probably, if anything, you have just a few couple of a minute or so.
okay. I go to my uncle. He was probably already excited to tell the story, and I put my hand on my back. Uncle, I think you're gonna have to tell me that story another time.
Of course.
It was nice seeing you again.
Come here for a hug, you big old turtle. And yeah, as you're hugging Karak, it's then that also like Cobble kind of pulls you, as there's also this force pull of sorts, which slowly pulls you away from this soul space that Karak was in. And after you return back, it's like then just waking up from a dream, a very vivid, lucid dream of sorts. And you open your eyes, look at the gem, and it's now again pulsating with the same light, greenish hue that was at the beginning.
I take a moment just to shake it out, just to realize where I am and what had just happened, and I have a feeling of slightly sad but slightly happy, somewhere in the middle. It's a bittersweet moment, I guess, and because I saw my uncle again and I never thought I'd see him again, but now I can hear him, so I look up at Cobble and I say, "Thank you, Cobble. This meant a lot."
And Cobble looks at you surprised as well and says, "No, thank you. It's, as I said, it's for us is the first time we've done this on somebody that is not a Genasi, and in terms of development, this helped us greatly. I have to go etch some things in stone really quick."
Okay.
You don't have books.
how quick?
Let me grab my chisel.
Yeah, exactly.
2 days.
But and also Cobble turns to turns to
My vision is
Jem and tells him, "Come on, we got to speak on this development. It's quite interesting." And they retreat, and Jem tells you, right, just hold on tight. We'll be back shortly. Gives a confused nod, and
Am I doing this right?
and yeah, after this, then we'll move on to the rest of the guys that now reunited at the tunnel at the entrance of Gravel Grotto, but we'll do that after the break, guys. Yeah. So.
Shit, attack.
Yeah.
But I can't, I'm too far away.
So see ya, guys, in just a little bit.
I can eat that.
Available notice.
Nom nom nom.
Nom nom.
Aw,
Nom 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 nom.
you're a weirdo.
So we return with now the scene at the sort of still in the tunnel, but towards the entrance of Gravel Grotto properly, where we meet the two groups now rejoining, and actually let's start with CP, Goma, and Sildrin. Like, what would you do, so to say? I mean, you were having a conversation and all, and let's say you would join just a few minutes afterwards. The rest of you, except for you, Shelly, you wouldn't join just yet.
Oh, no.
So yeah, Goma, CP, Sildrin.
Sildren would be brooding on the fuss that CP was tortured and yeah, it's a grim scenario for him.
Okay.
That already happened.
CP will have a poker face and look into the blank with
Okay.
a Machiavellian poker face. Let's say.
In this case, I'll say that you want to do anything.
Oh, I
Specific?
would do the same poker face
Okay.
while bleeding from my head, but you know, for medical reasons.
You had a short rest, but still, I can say
Yeah.
that you're still.
You have
It's
a
not
poker
fully,
face.
fully healed. But so the rest of you, Draven.
Can I say
with-
one thing?
Yeah.
Ah, the awkward silence.
And as soon as you say that and you continue slowly, the rest of you just intersect with the rest, seeing them all again, as they described, very stoic and.
Hello, the CP, if this is the real of the name. How?
Yes, she's CP Whisper. Why?
Is she the CP?
Yes. You can see her. Yes,
I've been notified that she's bored.
By the whom?
No, you've been notified he's bored.
Yeah.
but that was just a plaything. I'm actually Sildren.
I'll just get really small and look at the.
Can you get smaller?
So we meet where?
Still in the tunnel, you're still in the tunnel, but if you look further, like where you were heading, you can see that it's like there is light further there, and it starts opening into something bigger, but it's still further away.
It's beyond the curve, or
slightly curved, but yeah, it's still far away. I mean,
What have you done when we got separated?
we followed the tunnel.
Oh, okay.
And took a short rest.
Is the voice of the okay?
Yes, my voice is perfectly fine, thank you. Is your voice okay?
Unfortunately, my teeth don't work any longer, and I would need new herbs to try something else.
He really tried everything.
Also, what's your name?
My name is. Which translates, of course, in whisper carry by a breeze to the northwest, through the tempest fest, before becoming the wind underneath the eagle wings. Fellowship of CP and of the Draven.
Of course, it translates to.
You realize that's too long.
You are the short.
I also go do the same, but the other way around.
So,
Goba, are you okay?
He hit his head more than usually.
So he
See, from time to time, like Gobbo's eyes just go looking at each other, and then.
Okay, I have learned something in the news since we have been to the single elephants. I have learned the expression, let's address the silken elephant in the room.
Okay.
Yes, which is Goba has amnesia.
You are the lying or the joking?
No, I'm telling you the truth. Look at him. We tried everything. Poking him in the head, taking a short rest, poking him in the head again.
Oh, it's being
worked.
abused.
Oh,
Oh no, I have amnesia, you have amnesia.
this is the unfortunate sense. This is adding to the tumult of things that we are trying to dissolve right now.
Oh no, such an unfortunate event.
I have also found some troubling news. Apparently, CP was tortured in this cave.
Oh my god, that was secret, children. What did you do? It was just for your ears only.
I know you've been traumatized, but we can't keep such a secret from
Inside
our
check.
companions.
Inside check.
On CP.
Okay.
On your children to see if he is covering. What should I roll? It's one inside check or?
One.
Okay, I rolled 2 and one is very good and one it's then I rolled
Roll
them.
again.
Okay. Doamne ajută. Fuck.
Not
It's not elfish, so it's a
Is that a natural one?
No.
Guidance, fuck.
It's a
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Bah.
Sure, roll with guidance.
May I guide?
Yeah,
Okay.
you roll me a guidance.
Why?
I-
Don't make.
With my plus
I
7, I
will-
rolled a 12.
I don't see why is this so zoomed in. Okay,
But shouldn't you roleplay the guidance? Like you squint your eyes and say, Xylo, I'm.
you what do you do for?
Say, Doamne, păzește.
I roleplay it so bad that I give you only a 1.
And how do you roleplay it so bad? So give me only one.
She squints next to you.
You do the Slavic squad. It's a 16.
The Slavic squid.
Wow, that's
I have a plus 9. I forgot.
Oh my
just a
God.
casual plus nine.
And
On inside.
how much is it? 16.
Yeah. So you do gather that Sildren so far, like he isn't quite the liar type. So and he is quite genuine, especially considering that Sipi is his cousin. And yeah, so you believe Sildren saying the truth. Regarding Sipi, you're still very doubtful again, since yeah, the voice definitely
So
makes you wonder.
do I do I put things 2 to 2 with Zolux is here and the insight check, knowing that maybe there's a connection?
The only connection you would get is that Sildren, he said that Sipi was tortured. Probably he didn't realize it, but probably it was Zolux who was tortured, not Sipi per se. And
So do I get that Zolux is present at the moment and it's speaking
yeah,
back?
pretty much.
Do you like the lying to your the cousin?
What do you mean? What is this?
Exactly.
Whisper.
That is not the
CP.
CP that I had made the promise to, and I have added to the name of mine.
What do you mean you're not CP?
What do you mean? What is this? Suddenly doubting Sipi.
What is this, the voice that you're using?
It's my regular voice.
And what is this, the
No, it's
healing
not.
of the regular Genasi? What is the word regular? Please help.
I think that's just trauma from being tortured.
Okay, so let's get to the bottom of this. When were you tortured? CP.
She
I
can't
don't
remember.
appreciate the air quotes from the Earth Genasi.
What's an Earth Genasi?
They're called quotes just for.
I have found out that I am the Earth Genasi.
You just found out that.
Just a little bit, yes.
I knew this all along.
Why did you keep it to yourself?
Because it's not polite to tell everyone's secrets willy-nilly.
Okay, if it's not a courtesy, do you mind the CP just going a little bit to there to speak?
With you or with everyone.
But why didn't you tell Whisper at least that she's an Earth Genasi? Whatever that they are an
Oh,
Earth
so
Genasi.
many questions.
Yeah,
Shut up a little bit. Let me think.
CP, that's not polite. I know you're older, but please behave.
If you want, I can make sure if they are telling the truth.
Which is that?
You.
Ah, you plan on hurting Super again, huh?
Well, not.
Nobody will hurt you, CP, while I'm here.
I mean, it
but
will hurt, but I can heal.
No thanks, it's okay.
Using the third of the person in the grammar of the humanoids is not the okay, right?
Unless you have a huge ego.
Since when do you have a huge ego, CP?
Since forever. Since when you are questioning your cousin so often.
Since you made me poke that nest of bees when we were children.
Since what time are we here? I'm trying to establish a timeline.
I have a small proposition. Let's hear your backstory out, because you know we've heard from the
What is the backstory?
the things that made them what they are now.
What is the them and they are now? Because the CP is trying to tell us the something.
Not the CP,
Oh,
because that's the.
let's
we wanted to
try
know
the something
story.
else. What about if we call the CP the Zolux?
Why would you call her Zolux?
Oh, I'll see what's happening. I'll see it very clearly. And I'll see you out of me as well. Disappointing, but I expected that.
I didn't. They did.
It's
And I
okay.
You point towards the rock.
towards the rocks.
So I think, you know what? I am tired of the shenanigans and the political whatever we're doing inside this little group of ours. The family. Yes. Fine, what?
What were you about to say?
I was about to tell you what we found out, and I'm just tired of hiding. You know, with all the lying, and it's very confusing. This is the Zolux. This is not the CP. Simply, and I am sorry. It's very hard for you to believe, and you obviously have like a very strong connection. But
What do you mean it's not CP? But where
and
is
this is
CP
the
then?
Koba with amnesia, and this is your name. Just
Basically, CP's still there, but she's not in control right now.
It seems like we're not cousins anymore.
CP? Zolux?
Yes.
Are you really not CP?
Somehow I am still Sibyl. She's still in here. I can hear her.
can we speak a bit with the CP?
No. She doesn't want to speak with you.
I want to hear it from her.
CP, you are in there. Fight back. CP.
Yes, I'm trying. It's so difficult. I almost got some. Oh no.
Silo, do you have some more of the incense? Maybe the gods will help.
Zolux?
I now embrace the gods, they are the real, but you know.
What is this connection between Zolux and CP? Is CP in danger?
Is Zolux is
Sibyl's not in danger, first of all. You guys put her in danger. You have no idea how incompetent and reckless you action.
Well, we didn't rush into combat about.
Ah,
half an
just
hour ago.
now. Just this time. One time.
Well,
only.
this time.
Excuse me.
I'm not.
I'm sorry, you know.
To be clear, the only reason CP is not the one engaging first is because of her short legs and she can't reach first. Otherwise, he
That's
would.
true. We had a discussion. We cannot improve in that, the speed.
Oi, what do you mean by that?
At least he runs faster. He can run like
In the
30
other
feet
direction.
in 6 seconds. But
Yeah, but he's running away from the fight.
Was there a famous athlete that was timed?
Yes.
Oh yes.
Oh no.
Oh, that makes so much sense.
You've written several world records and you've been awarded the Medal of Eyceras, if I'm not mistaken.
What's Eyceras?
You have
It's a
stolen.
backwards K.
also,
I think.
you are so good, especially at killing Earth Genasi. The best
That's
Earth
a
Genasi.
lie.
Lie. What you said is so true.
Well, Dragonborn actually.
Stop the lying, please.
Zolux.
Who did it first?
I care
Let's
about.
kill him.
I care about.
I'm already dead. You.
How is so cool?
Xylo, stop doing the crosses in the back and help.
What?
This is, I don't know. I need to know if this is gray or,
Basically.
black and white, good or bad.
It's always grey.
Maybe you have the experience with the wither. Is it the same or is it like...
What you're interested is, are you hurting City?
No, I told you.
Insect.
I'm the only one killing super
Guidance, so you can add a
Okay.
d4.
Thanks. Where am I?
No
Then
problem, it's
how
free.
did you protect her from being
Did you like...
tortured?
Boing.
It wasn't tortured, it was just me.
So that didn't happen in the
15?
past
Okay.
year?
Wait.
When Zoluk said if it's hurting Sippy, you gather the fact that Zoluk isn't hurting Sippy.
Quelle surprise!
Yeah, just that, yeah, there's definitely something, like their connection like goes deeper than just,
Maybe
Just,
you can tell us
You're telling the truth.
what is... that is very good. Yes? Maybe you can tell us what is the connection with you and the CP.
I'm tired of the super. Do super.
Yes.
Good, kind, innocent little super.
Yes.
Minus the innocent.
But Super's heart wasn't that good, you see. She had secrets.
Everyone
Deep
of
ones. And deep down you know this to be truth. She's nothing but a liar. And a thief! Her actions destroyed so many lives. So many families. Killed so many people.
What do you mean?
And this was even before she met me. This is what I like the most about her. She's not perfect. She has flaws and secrets. Dark ones.
Is one of the flaws that she looks likely to hit her head on the top frame, door frames because she's so tall?
No.
What do you mean the CP had the secrets and killed the many lives before?
Those
she
are
met you?
CP's secrets, not yours to tell.
Exactly. She gets it. I'm not gonna betray soups like that.
So why are you using it as an argument
Because
to help yourself?
Is it that bad to be friends with me? You don't even know me yet. You might like what you see. Or would you rather be friends with that soup?
CP.
Yeah, CP.
Well, we've asked how is City, but how is Zolux? How is Zolux feeling right now?
Zolux is feeling annoyed with all your stupid questions.
Okay, then tell us your life story. What happened?
Well,
But
Because
short,
they've
please.
told us a
in a
version.
nutshell, I was brought here and tortured. I don't know for how long, maybe many years.
thousands of years and tortured and mentally screwed and abused, and then something happened and I escaped. So
What
naturally, I plan to take revenge and kill everyone here.
And do you think the revenge will make you feel the good?
Yes, and as I recall, you made the same thing. Didn't you promise Sibyl that you would kill the Scarlet Oppressor for her? For revenge? We are exactly the same when you whisper.
The promise was not made to you. It was made to Sibyl.
Yeah, but she did it anyway.
It's not equal.
Sibyl made the same promise to me.
The difference is in the morality. I was doing it out of the help and how do you call this? The empathy. The empathy. No, the empathy out of my loyalty to my friend CP and not the Zolux.
Yes.
And you're doing it for just plain revenge to hurt.
Also, there's the problem that you are not killing them yourself, but you're using CP. So you're bloodying her hands, not yours.
Oh, actually, we promised that we would bring the Earth Genasi to justice. They are very evil creatures.
Yes.
But we agreed to talk first.
Why do you think they are the evil creatures? We just talked with them.
They're shady.
What?
Not really evil.
I mean, they had done something very bad in the past.
They have mud in the past.
Yes, they
Let me tell you this. The one who wins, the ones who get to tell the story, are the one controlling the story.
And we're writing it.
Yeah, but not really. You have the opportunity to tell us the story now and you...
I told you.
Did you though?
Yes.
How did you make the CP?
Sibyl met me.
How?
That's a simple secret. It's related to the dark secret she had that I mentioned before.
Okay then. Since we've heard your story, as you agreed, it's time to hear the Earth Genasi story. And then we will take a decision and I will protect CP. And that means I protect the body in which you are.
Or maybe I can kill everyone.
I will let Whisper tell you the story of what the Earth Genasi told us, but they've told us that they did some experiments on you. They didn't say what experiments they did.
Tell me.
They said
Yes.
and that was a beautiful Rosetta there, where you, the Zolux were the present, and you were carved into stone with a big halberd of swords, and you were once the fighter of the people, and you fought it against the ancient prime elementals. You know, because at some point in the history, our people, mine and yours, the Zolux, have risen about against the prime elementals that had created us for the purposes of just having a body to control. And
slaves.
Yeah, I don't like using that word. So basically, at some point, the Zolux wanted to go and fight Bor, who is the ancient prime elemental of Earth. And once you went there, you never come back.
Did she call me Bor or Tyr earlier?
Bor.
So, let me see. I was the hero last they knew. They found me, tortured me for years and years, but now I'm the evil one?
The thing is that
How? Doesn't make sense.
this was
Let's hear it out.
before their time, and this is something that is only witnessed in the Rosetta Stone. But after this, what I gathered from the Earth Genasi, the people, is that they found a corrupted gemstone called the Geom Heart, I think.
Geom Heart definitely
anything-
resonate with you. That
Does anything ring a bell for me?
Is this...
not for you, but for CP.
is
As
this-
in
Can I roll something for CP too? remember something about the...
I mean, CP knows, if you recall a few sessions back with the dream sequences.
But does she know the term geom heart? It doesn't matter, I will explain. Whisper would explain, but basically, again, you accessing parts of Zolux's well-hidden memories, like long forgotten. Geom Hard would be there, like you would know. Okay.
Most of it, yeah. So, but that's the thing. Like, it's Sipi who knows. Zolux, it's like, as you roleplay, like, whatever. Like, it's.
But don't they hear each other?
I'm gonna roleplay it, so you see.
So, do as you will with that info.
So, this geom heart is a sort of like the aerolite you might remember. The prime stone that was a womb to us, and from we were repeatedly born and brought into this world to make it stronger. But the geom heart is sort of the corrupted of the version of the aerolite. And they found this bright green gem that is the geom stone, and they found you inside and tried to communicate with you, but they did not communicate with you, and at some point you just dissipate.
So whatever.
Did I miss anything?
No, that's pretty much it. It's just that what the what the Earth Genasi were trying to do, it's try to get to Zolux, like communicate with it, but they didn't know that through their methods it would hurt.
So CP nods and she says,
Bine, and then Zolux, I don't think we should kill the Earth Genasi anymore, because it might hurt us and especially our friends, my friends, and I don't really want them to get hurt. Come on, promise we'll kill everyone. No, we're not gonna kill everyone. Come on, maybe some people, just the people who tortured me. Just a few people. No, we can interrogate them maybe. Come on, maybe just one stupid guy that nobody cares about and nobody loves and has no friends.
Let us remind the...
That's just sad.
Man, epic.
We will see, but maybe him a little bit. We can compromise. Oh my god.
You already have a soul?
What soul?
An Earth Genasi soul.
You wouldn't know this though.
No, I know.
Yeah.
Listen, I would like some more. Do you have more?
No, I was just saying it because
Stop
I
being
guess
thirsty.
I'm confused. Is this a normal?
So we hear both voices?
Yeah. It's this conversation.
Usually, after someone behaves like this, we go put them on a cross and exercise. But
That's the last thing we would do to me.
Talk about CrossFit.
I told you they heard a bit.
That's what they did to
ooh,
you when they found out you became withered?
Why do you
That would
always?
explain a lot.
They did what was necessary. Always.
Nobody's
So
putting
it's a-
CP on a cross.
So it's a yes?
I'm not saying a cross. I mean, there are methods. You don't necessarily need to, I mean, we can choose something that it's more humane.
Like doves.
Like an
Doves with cross and
I mean, you can put a little bit, take the incense out and then do, the ritual, or
No,
put
it's okay.
sanctify.
I'm
Okay.
All think that all of you have been hit in the head.
But
Guys, but the thing is that I didn't get to tell the people that something bad is happening, and no one cares. I don't know why. I don't care because I'm selfish.
I think we should pray for their soul. Maybe something happens,
Oh, let's pray for my little lost soul.
Buhar on the most sacred mountain. keep us away from those who are impure.
That's what I'm supposed
Yes.
to do. I mean,
I do not know.
I don't know any prayers.
I mean,
Might I recommend trying Krepak?
Oh no, he's back on
Krepak.
I forgot how you the annoying word.
Krepak is fake according to your past self, and you renounced Krepak for Eric's.
Oh, I think you're fake according to your past, current, and future self.
I'm going
Saying that.
I have a good news and a bad news. Good news is we can give him back his memories. Bad news is I'm not able from now until the conceivable future to do that.
you want him to shut up for 3 hours? I'm going to take out
Not
the books
really.
that he wrote.
That already.
I mean, yeah, give him the book.
But
of-
Santu.
Yeah.
It's oh,
Yeah.
It is the empty of the pages.
Actually, I would like to mention that they're not empty. There are squiggly lines.
Oh, give it the
But we-
Eric's book or Krepak or something.
Only go back and read that.
Well,
Not even.
so you try to give him the. But wait, before I mean, what do we do in this situation?
Okay, let's do it. Like we have to do something that is, when the winds intersect, we have to prioritize because it's chaos, and then if
Of course, killing everyone.
No.
Or
What
maybe
we're
not.
doing with the CP and the Zolux? CP, are you in the there? You talked earlier.
A little bit, yes.
Zolux, you need closure.
Zolux needs closure and he's very angry with you guys because you do not listen to his advice. Which I'm glad. Because he's a bit troubled, but he's a nice guy.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't
He,
kill us, so.
he protected me all this time. I would be lost without him.
Okay.
Maybe I'll tell them about the rice possession.
Yeah. You know what? We also
Make a
found out.
trade-off and.
Yeah, we also found out that the Geom heart is also stealing the souls and eating them and capturing them in the inside.
I kind of saw that a little bit. I chose to look the other side.
CP, you should know better.
I
Any
know, I'm
punishment
so
is-
disappointed. I will punish myself when I get home.
Oh my god, that's
Any punishment.
I told you,
for
this is how you
life.
do. See, they understand.
Yes.
punishment.
Some
Yes,
spanking would do me
when you
great.
do something bad. Oh, I wasn't talking about
Well,
in
it's
a
punishment, so corporal punishment.
Okay.
So it's one price possession connected to the weapon.
Okay. We also found out that the Zolux in the past had this very, very interesting item, the Stellengard halberd. Stellengard.
I have it written
Without the
I
R.
didn't even have it written.
To be honest,
No, I
that
have it.
sounds amazing.
So it's the Stellengard halberd.
Telega.
Stalaga.
That's a halberd.
Yeah. It's without the R, basically.
This Telega halibut
Stalaga.
Stalega.
Stalaga.
Oh, I wrote it right.
Whoa!
Telega, I also did it.
It's Stalega.
This Telega halibut sounds
Telega.
amazing.
Really?
Yeah, it's a halibut.
It is the down in
It's
the,
cooler than mine.
in the pictures that I saw. It was very doodly, but everything else was also doodly. So but.
I do not want a doodly halibut. Look at this one, how cool is it? And I manifest it. And it's very, it's a very deep color of black, not obsidian, it's the black that doesn't have any shades,
The
matte.
Matte.
Like a matte.
No, yeah.
Even something like a black hole that absorbs all light. And it's very minimalistic ornated and has a very pointy end.
But the Stalaga halberd, how it was depiction, it was a doodle with some lines, so it radiates, I think.
Yes.
Ooh!
It has floating pieces of gem
Wow!
around it. They work by themselves.
Now I want it.
The problem is that it's somewhere where the Zolux. Are you in there?
Yes, I know it's here.
Oh, that's.
I wasn't allowed to talk to you because of this little with all the rules.
So you remember when you went to face the boar and you
No.
died?
That's milled up.
Whisper, I feel
It's
typical
actually
lie.
nothing
Let's
that
just say the truth. Let's say the truth about the boar and everything. Come on, let's say that, you know.
So the thing is that the boar corrupted you.
Me?
No, it's the Zolux. Now I'm talking with the Zolux.
Jolux, they say you're corrupted.
But why did you call me Bogdan earlier?
Because Boris my best friend.
Oh, I see. So she thinks it's his best friend.
I'm a man. I'm
Yeah.
trapped in a little girl's body, but I'm a man.
It's weird.
He was the tallest of the doodles. So. But the thing is that
How the mouth is shrunken.
the thing is that the boar is the very dangerous because once before, because of the earth elementals, that they went and wanted to destroy this very bad thing that happened in the future.
Oh,
And
no.
it's bound to happen in the past, and it's bound to happen in the future.
Terrible.
Do I have any emotions? Me, Zolux, towards
Zolux, no. So as you role played it so far, it's great.
So you don't want a new halberd?
ignorance it is.
What?
You don't want a new halberd? Anyway.
Yes, that would be cool.
So how about that one?
Well, let's.
Do you know where it is?
Yeah,
do
they
I
said
know?
north in the mountain.
Of course not.
Where boar is.
Well,
Do I know
he's
where
still
Boris?
around.
According to the Rosetta, yes.
So obviously I don't know anything because if I knew I would already have it.
Oh no, how you feel?
Zolux. Then
I
how
just wanted the hug.
Nobody you want to hug.
I could go for one.
I'm hugging a
We're group hugging.
Bagging.
This requires a change of music.
Not with Steve.
Hug also Ruxandra. Monsters.
I was hugging her.
Monster!
So we're paddling in this group hug, and I'm saying, guys, I know
Hugs
this
towards.
is this is
This is disgusting.
this is the confusion.
You love it.
I know.
Yeah, shut up. I love it.
I feel like I'm being touched by strangers.
That's not okay. You should whistle.
Going forward with this new information, Zolux, I think we should also talk with this boar guy. As I said, the first step before
You know where
anything,
Boris?
well, I think
The thing is that the boar guy is I don't know how to explain
Let's
him.
go to Bor.
It's an earth elemental. It's
Yes.
a huge, powerful being that have come
know.
together and destroyed a very bright palace.
You said
Super impressive.
Earth elemental.
But she's my friend. She will throw us a feast and everything.
This is how the first world ended. This is why my race ended. And we're trying to bring it back. Year by year, reincarnation by reincarnation, each time. Just stop being caught up in the little things and listen. Do you want it to happen again?
No. Did I say it correctly?
Wait, you were Zolux or
Sippy.
Sippy? Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
Do I role play that shitty that you can't
It's okay.
So wait, you're saying that
Good, I
the
got
war is
scared
going
then.
to end it the world and it was be bound to end it again? Is
I
this
was
the...
sent as a messenger, but the gist of it is that the elementals, I think they're coming back together to destroy something. The last time they did, they destroyed the civilization brought upon this earth.
Yeah, but-
And the gods had to rebuild it again. This were before the gods.
Why don't we know anything about this?
Because I'm a million years older than you guys.
I just want to say that if any of this would have actually happened, Krepak would have stopped all of it. So
Yes, sure.
Nice.
Moving on.
Nice.
You are denying to stir the feelings.
Yes.
I don't understand.
But we are going to take the halberd without summoning more, right?
We don't take anyone's belongings. We should find out what happened.
The blue person just said it was mine, halberd. I'm not gonna bother learning their names very long and annoying.
We don't know that.
And they got satisfaction from knowing their names, so it's
Shitty.
Just as we had no idea that you were not tortured but accidentally tortured, we don't know.
Purpose I was tortured.
We don't know anything concretely about Bor and this halberd, so we should find out.
Bor is the best.
Okay. That's
What? But
that's
this
a
is-
new.
This is the bad. Bor is not the best, guys.
Do you know Bor even? Judging people without knowing them.
You don't know the Bor?
Yes, he's the best.
How is he?
He's so nice and strong and powerful. He throws the best parties.
I'm going
He
to
has mountain goat milk. He has friends.
What's mountain goat milk? Oh no.
Friends and
Oh, we'll try that though.
Well,
Do we have any? Or
We still have.
take it. Drink. Come on.
Alcohol is really the best solution for him.
You know that this is how we can make him forget forever that he's an alcoholic.
Yeah, I
You
know.
know?
I know.
So maybe I'm slapping him. So maybe I'm slapping him again. So maybe maybe don't
Slapping whom?
slapping Draven who's trying to give you the.
I'm trying to reach
slapping
for the
him
mountain
again.
goat milk.
He's so cute.
Putting
I mean,
him in the.
Come on.
Let's try.
This
I mean, an
Listen to the
opportunity.
Xylo. She has experience with the beating. and
Then I'll give him
slapping.
some water. Here. No, I know it's water.
Huh?
You know it's water?
I can smell it.
You don't know what. This is what gold meat smells like. It's actually.
Like it's
Improves
very
water.
clear.
Are you seriously trying to tell me what goat milk is? Well, listen up, tall lady. I can tell you from down here up to over there that what goat milk is.
But it's made by Kripa. Brewed by Kripa. I'm not laughing.
With the power of Krepa.
I am, but I'm not.
He's the amnesiac, not the stupid.
Is it though? But if it has a backwards scale.
You know what? I think that is right.
He said the first things of my
We're killing the DM IRL.
If you don't want to, how should I put this? We have a thing that can do a thing to you, but if you don't want us to
I'm not
use it,
reusing the
don't.
thing.
Yeah, I know. But if you don't want us to use it,
You talking
What?
about me?
That is very vague. We have a pearl
Why?
that actually can take you away from,
not take
you know,
us, put you to sleep.
like yes, that can actually take the essence
You
of the
guys
sword.
want to put me to sleep?
Not you.
No, we never wanted to do that. Yes, just to.
But we don't want to do that.
Hey, how can you?
I just said I'm not using that.
But
You
why
want
we?
to harm me?
No.
I trusted you.
It's in the name. I cannot harm you now. It's my essence.
Yeah. The fact is, if you do not want to go to sleep,
I don't.
while we are here,
I'm up all night.
don't be Zolts.
I will try to contain him, but he's being bored a lot.
Tell him you're gonna kill some, I don't know, deer, we'll hunt some
He
food.
can also hear you. He's not. He's.
Hey, we're gonna hunt some deer after we're leaving here.
So looks what you don't want to leave the city.
I want revenge.
Yeah, that is not gonna happen.
Have you tried
A
taking
little
it?
bit.
What about the peeing in the drinks? Is that the helping?
The what?
The peeing in their drinks.
The what?
It's better than nothing.
Peeing, pooping, I mean, you have. You can go to the Rosetta Stone and, you know,
No.
What about poison
I mean-
in the drinks?
how about nuts?
Laxatives.
That's a nice idea.
Yeah, whatever makes you pop in the woods. Where is that? Was it your berries, Shelly? Oh, damn it!
We should ask Shelly. Where is Shelly?
Where is Shelly?
Yeah, where is the Shelly? I told you guys.
When you left, basically, There was that thing. There was that thing that Shelly said to stay behind. You said no, should come with us. But in the end, it
And
was
we
Shelly's.
negotiated they will send him.
Yeah.
Yes, and we had the they were saying
Yeah,
them and
yeah.
the conversation with the
Yeah,
real.
but you don't know how long that would have taken or what not. But you know that Shelly is with the.
You left Shelly alone with those strangers?
Well, yeah.
Shelly wanted to stay to do a ceremony. But you know, let's do this. And I start touching the walls and I knock and I whisper something to them. Bring the Shelly back. Does it do anything?
It's a bit far fetched.
I don't know, I'm just like...
Setting.
That would definitely require a message or anything. Like.
Whisper talking by the wind.
Do you have the message?
I have the message.
I
have the message.
I have the sending actually.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
the-
you know what? You can like try to humor
No,
me.
I don't. I'm out. I'm tapped out.
Oh, all of us are.
I have a message, but
I'm
Not the warlocks.
but
Short rest. I know. I could have.
All right. So what's the plan, guys?
Okay, coming back to the thing, like, okay, I have to go back to the Earth Genasi because I haven't told them about the end of the world.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
wait, what?
It's
I have been telling you I have come behind the Tempest fence from a different world to announce your stupid little world that, you know, you live for a few years and then you die. The end of the world is the coming and no one is the listening.
Whisper, he's very fragile-minded right now. I don't make him implode, please. Maybe let's sit him down first and, you know...
when you tell them
him.
about the end of the world.
Um,
Don't mention.
I'm very concerned as well about the end of the world. Are you serious?
this is the first time you've told us
Yeah.
Because I am very polite in my speech.
So polite.
Yes,
Nice manners.
yes. I'm trying to spare the feelings of agony and despair.
You say it so nicely that you don't make me actually freak out, and that's weird. I mean, it feels like a lie. Are you sure?
Yes, I'm trying to experiment with the, you know. It's not the lying. I do not do the lying. I do not do the lying.
Oh my god, guys, the end of the world is coming. We should do something. Oh my god, where is it coming?
we should notify the gods.
Yeah, we should go back to Gravel Grotto and notify them.
But we are in.
To the people who talked
You
with.
need to swear on,
CP.
On children.
you need to,
I
you,
swear on children.
you need to swear on the gods that you're not gonna
Not
hurt.
the gods on
Gods.
CP. Swear on CP.
Nothing will
Swear
happen.
on
Your
CP.
halberd and on board.
No.
Swear on CP.
On board.
Zolux.
On CP's life.
But come on, I really...
Not on
Come
CP's
on.
life, on board.
On
You know what?
CP. That is.
The thing is that also the Earth Genasi did a past transgression that I cannot remember about. Maybe because they don't, my makers didn't tell me. My family.
Is
had
it
a-
torturing me?
I don't think so. It's from before you were tortured.
You don't know how long I was tortured.
It was from the Rosetta Stone, I think.
They actually told us that you went to challenge Boar in combat.
Yeah.
And they were not your friends.
They.
The
The
boar.
boar. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we don't.
Yeah, but we become friends.
Well, that is maybe the worrying part, you
Yeah,
know,
but
when you
whose
become
side?
friends with the enemy.
The corruption.
You don't even know whose side. This is the corruption.
We should find out what his side is.
If you promise not to kill everyone.
Not a, but can I get a bit of revenge on the torture?
Detailed revenge. Explain.
Suck the soul out of them.
Oh,
That would please me.
no. No, I know it's not.
Why are you the
I know it's a no, but I.
5 souls.
Why?
Single promise.
Why 5?
It's a
Is this
number.
the ridiculous?
How about
It is a
no
little bit,
souls?
yes.
No souls, but you can defile their altars. You can spit in their.
Draven, what the actual
birth
mother
pools.
are you saying?
We'll let the splitting and 4 souls.
Zolux, why don't you come speak with me a bit on the side
Okay.
and I
Yeah.
go
Yeah. All right.
some 30 feet away.
But just so you know, Sildren, I'm putting my foot down when it comes to hurting other creatures, no matter their essence, okay?
Have you killed Dragonborn?
Even Dragonborn?
I mean,
Even heretics?
except he's like an even...
Explore teeth.
I understand the meaning of your words, Silo.
Okay,
Don't
thank
worry.
you. You know, it's not, it doesn't come from a bad place.
So, protection in general in nature is okay. You kill the predator that is preying on you, but it's not okay to kill.
The predator needs to eat. Anyway, I'm taking
What?
Zolux away.
If you discuss something.
Yes.
with the-
Sildren stops and tells you, Zolux, that although I promised CP that I would help with the revenge, I would also help you, Zolux. But the steps should remain the same. First we find out the truth, and
I'm listening.
then I will help you get your revenge.
Mouse.
But that means that we next need to find out more about Bor.
Okay, but if they tortured me, we'll kill them.
Well,
If the conclusion of the investigation is that they harmed me, without any good reason, no, harm me,
no, without the reason always matters.
okay, with a good reason, without any good reason actually, we'll kill them.
And if indeed what the Earth Genasi say is true and Bor is your enemy and charmed you,
That's poppycock.
it may be, but we will find out, won't we?
Fine.
Okay.
Can I hit this?
We're actually not
You
that.
can hear anything.
yeah, I'll
If
say
you
that
want.
only you are the only one. who can-
Actually not that bad. You're kinda cool. I think.
I know.
In the back, like I imagine CP is with the back on the group and Sildren is facing us. Whisper is like,
Nice. Yeah.
Actually, may I distract Whisper while this is happening? I mean, I would actually want to go and.
Yeah, sure.
Excuse me,
my business.
Mr. or Mrs. I have a.
They, I am the whisper without Mrs. or Mister.
They, the Whisper. This is getting confusing. I have a solution for all of that saving of the world. I need your help. It needs to be a public demonstration. So, may I have your hand? And there's also a ritual that has to be done. So, first verse, you jump on one leg and then on the other leg.
I jump like a shooting dancer, like my body was made to dance.
I'm jumping very choppily and the tribal kind of dance.
Yeah.
So just follow my lead and keep repeating what I'm saying. Are you ready?
Yes.
Crepak, would you help us now? We like the world and hell. Save us goblins and the other and the earth, cause there's no other. And we keep doing this a bunch of times.
I thumb you up.
Does that save the world?
Sure. That's the end of the campaign, guys. Happy
We're leaving time.
Take the potato chips.
Nice. Congratulations, everyone. We
So
did
who's
it.
hearing this?
When you finish the dance, I guess CP and Sildren would enter. And Sildren would assure everyone that Zolux will not harm Earth Genasi until we find out more.
Okay.
While we return, I'm gonna jolt into Sildren's leg or hip or whatever height I can reach and say, thank you.
Hi.
Whisper to you, thank you.
Oh, wait, was that
TP.
CP? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. CP, of course I would help you. And whatever Zolux is,
He's my friend, my closest friend.
well, he's part of you now.
He is. I'm never alone.
some alone time from time to time is beneficial.
Goba, this is your name now, so brace with it. Can you like reach a friend with your mind?
If it's a volume problem, I can reach him like that.
Can you like the yell, Shelly, Shelly, please come back?
Why would I be yelling Shelly, Shelly?
Because I asked you to.
Do I look like a fool to you?
Well,
And think of Krepak when you do it. Think of Krepak when you do it.
I always think of Krepa. Sorry, I had to take the opportunity.
Yeah, it was like right there.
With the James Bond face. I always think of Krepak when I'm doing it.
okay. So the plan is the following. Let's
First
try
get
to
Shelly.
let's try to find the Shelly. Let's go the back.
By the way, just saying that even when you reached initially Gravel Grotto, it was quite late, and now after all this happening, like it's getting around 11 a.m. Like you're getting also exhausted
Tired?
from tired, yeah.
Do we get levels of exhaustion?
No, not yet. But I'm just saying that it's getting late and you feel tired. And you also remember that the Earth Genasi said to you that they can provide lodgings for the night and if you need them.
So, can we?
Or forever.
Can we go back if the CP promised? You said it promised. The Solus promised that they will not kill the Earth Genasi.
Yes, she agreed and he agreed.
I'm right, sir.
Both of them agreed that they will find out more.
And if you don't want to make things harder for us and for yourself, can you only let CP talk?
I really threaten you.
That is their decision.
That's the
Draper.
opposite of threats. Really. I'm just saying that it would be easier for all of us if you didn't go, hey, I'm Zolus, I'm here.
Of course, I'm not
Okay.
stupid.
Okay.
Like you.
Just
But
I'm not trying to dismiss your feelings, Draven, but it's their
Why
business
not?
how they try to share the voice.
I mean, Draven has a little bit of a point. We came. I didn't know what was going on with Shelly, with CP, and I was. I thought that she harmed one of these guys, and they did. The Zolux did do that.
Oh, that's right.
But they deserved it. Remember, torturing.
Didn't we just agree that we won't do this?
Well, we did, but that's in the
That's
past.
in the past, yes.
Yeah, but the past is like today.
The past is in the past.
Okay. So do you?
You know what I mean? Like,
Unlocks.
if one of us would get hurt and forever be lost with the souls, I don't think that everybody would be like, yeah, open arms, come, sleep here.
but have you been tortured? Just throwing that out there.
But the thing is that the
They
Genasi
didn't know.
didn't know that they were hurting the Zolux.
They said they didn't
It's
know.
They say that
Kinda
it
hard
But they're
for us
lying.
to know that.
Maybe we go like how do you call the humanoids call it, like a diplomatic the party, and we go
Okay.
and we try to like how is it the negotiate the negotiation.
Yeah.
The fancy words.
Yeah, exactly. The negotiation.
Defensive talking.
Or I can draw a mustache and reverse my jacket. Maybe
Okay.
they don't know it's
Yes.
Or you can have my mask
we can propose.
and you can
Oh, smells funny. Smells like
I
corpses.
don't know if more lies help at this point. I think we go with the tail between our legs.
Oh, you look like he was digested.
because I've been hurtful towards Krepak, and this is what happened to me.
Guys,
Oh, that makes sense.
Darren, stop the lying.
You're turning into Goba.
I'm completely placated by your response. Let's go, digested man. May you find redemption for crap.
guys, what if we go there and they catch me and torture me?
They will
Just
do this
because I-
over my death of the spirit.
And mine.
And we can propose a
As long
truce.
as sorry. You
We
say.
can propose a truce. Zolux releases the soul of the Earth Genasi, and the Earth Genasi don't try
Yes.
to capture. Or
Yes,
for
I think it's a
Zolox.
trade-off, you know? I give you something.
Possible.
What do you mean it's not possible? It's right there in your lantern. We saw it
No,
before.
it's a no now.
Are you willing
No.
to do that?
Question.
Am I,
Yeah.
do
Out
I
of
get
character.
it?
Did we see that though? The soul of the Earth Genasi entering
You
inside?
didn't
No,
see
it was in darkness. Yes.
Oh,
so
it
none
was
of
in
you-
darkness?
don't know that.
We
Yeah,
didn't
none
see
of
that.
you, none of you saw. Yeah.
Okay,
but,
that's good.
That CP told us.
no, what you know is that when you spoke with Jem.
Oh, they said that they have it, so that's why how we know.
Yeah, because when Jem
And
spoke with
also
you.
CP said this like 15 minutes ago.
Oh,
Because
okay,
you
yeah.
said it first. Yeah, because we learned it from Earth Genasi.
Yeah.
Earlier, yeah.
But I cannot give it back. I know that every soul makes me more powerful.
Yeah,
but
pretty much.
I cannot
Make
give
you
it back.
consume it and it's
I
not-
cannot give it back. Unfortunately. I'm
Can we-
super sorry about
Inside check.
Can we try then?
No, I mean it would kind of be pointless because
Okay, yeah.
like
Give them something in return, like
I would be willing to try.
thing.
Maybe we
Not
can
yourself,
do
but-
that. You can give it in return.
I don't think they really like me.
So
I
we
don't
don't
like
know
your
it's
dad.
pointless. We don't know it's pointless
to what?
to try to give the soul back.
No, you.
So we would like to try. I would like to try
Yes, I would.
and try to
yeah.
convince Zolux to try.
But yeah, but as Zolux you couldn't. I mean, it's sort of corrupted part of you now.
Yeah, basically. it
I-
was-
Think of it, Zolux. Think of it that the soul you just absorbed. Well, not enough. Like one soul wasn't enough to just power you up, but you sort of devoured, and its soul essence. It's
Merged.
now Zolux. Yeah, like what was.
It's merged.
So,
It's
yeah,
part of me now.
it would be easier to not bring the fact that, hey, Zolux is here, like we did.
They know.
They kind of.
They know that CP is Zolux.
Yeah.
Well, that complicates things.
Then we say, hey, we've put Zolux to sleep or something.
We can do the lying for the good. This
Yeah.
who told me about this concept?
This is always a good concept.
As
I
long
think
as you, the Zolux, do not do the harming. Of course.
Not for not, but if they catch you,
Of course. Don't you trust me?
yeah, I
No.
do.
So trust me.
No, a lot
This is a
of
good girl.
a lot of people from this particular unit do not trust you, especially when we saw what happened before.
What can you do? You cannot please everyone.
What's your name?
Are you fucking? I hope
You
that.
said the best of the word.
I'm sorry, but
What's
this
that dollar
is
in the jaw?
enough with the jokes, Goba. It was funny 5 minutes ago. You have to stop it. Ah, see, I laugh.
Gaba starts tearing up and looking scared at you.
What's the matter with you?
You're yelling at me.
Because
Yes,
you're
not all of us.
shenanigansing again.
He has the true of the amnesia.
You need to say.
You mean he's hurt? What is amnesia?
I'm literally like
He's
breathing out.
Yeah.
He's still like bleeding.
He's the forgetting of the past. He lives in the past. The past of the past. Do you
Oh,
guys have another word for past? The
Extra-
long forgotten
Extra
past.
fast.
That.
how? Oh, okay.
I think it's time for you to say sorry to Goba for
Well, of
screaming
course I am
again.
sorry for yelling at
Oh,
you. but
thank
I-
you.
Oh, poor thing. They're there.
And
Don't touch me!
And
I slap away your hands.
Oh, come on.
And I go hide behind Whisper.
Punch you.
Or not.
No, I go hide behind Whisper.
Yeah.
Do you want the pants of the again?
Maybe let's give him something to make him better, you know, like
You take the pants.
But the quest has been reversed. No, you must take them back. Krepak has told me. The quest has been reestablished. Not ever take off the pants.
Okay.
So, what's the plan, guys?
Diplomacy party. Do we have of the white of the flag, or what's the custom with you?
White panties.
I don't.
I don't have the white panties.
I break off like a piece of my robe. White for peace and eggs.
That is big.
Milk. Well, if we clean it up a bit, it's gonna be white.
Should CP hold it or should we hold it?
CP.
Can you tie it on your...
Prestidigitation. White.
Yeah.
Fun fact, like I just learned about prestidigitation. It lasts 1 hour.
What?
It's 1 hour white flag, and then I do it again.
Yeah.
That's
I know, right? Like I wanted to feel that I needed to say this fact because
Clean,
Yes, I
be clean
knew.
only for
I'm
1 hour.
googling it.
I never knew. I always played D&D for like 7 years.
It was like, you know.
Yeah, you clean up. Nope, it
No,
reverts.
it is.
It's fine.
The clean.
Everything.
The smell, the
Yeah.
I
It's like a temporary
Yeah.
status on something.
I neatly tied this piece of cloth Goba gave me that's now super clean, like toothpaste
Yep.
clean, you know,
White.
white toothpaste white clean, and tie it on my halberd, and then
By
Alright,
weekend.
and you then
Flap it
proceed
up.
into the city proper, yeah? So, as you...
knocking on walls. Open, please.
There is no door.
I'm knocking on walls, not a door. Walls.
Yeah, okay. Because, yeah, you...
I'm trying to communicate in the native of the language of the ancient.
You need to say the magic word, something with a condiment that you put as a sprinkle, like sesame.
Do you mean this? And I also knock and say open and earth primordial, so or terra.
Terran.
Terran.
By the way,
Rain.
because I've noted this, it's not Prime Windical.
It's not
Prime
primordial. It was such a cool name. Please let me have
Let's
this.
have Prime Windical. We vote for Prime
Yes.
Windical.
We are going to revolt.
It's Prime Windical. Okay.
Yay!
Revolt successful.
Next session we will die.
A diplomatic revolt.
Yes.
Quite that's super cool words. Thank you.
Much respect.
So,
man. Much respect.
Okay.
you make your way. As I said, you weren't very far away, but it still takes you around 5-6 minutes to walk towards the entrance properly. And over there, initially, you are met by 4 sort of Shaolin monks that all stand like defensively, and in the middle of them sits Gem, kind of like crossed arm and just very curious to see what's happening, and as soon as it sees you, whisper, like it acknowledges the flag, raises a rocky eyebrow towards it, but then looks towards you, whisper, saying, so, what about your friend? What's the situation?
Our friends of the Earth Binding, we have come here in the peace. Hence the white flag that is custom for these people.
The red herring.
No, it's the white flag. So we have an agreement with the Zoluks. You tell us more about the halberd. They are very sorry for what they happened and they will stop. You also have to de-apologize because you the tortured of the Zoluks. And then we meet with the common of the interest, yes?
Okay, as it looks towards you, like there amongst those 4 monks, it's also Clay, the one you arrived Rebel Grotto with, and he really looks intently towards you, very ready, but
Hello.
he's taken aback, and so it's
What?
Gem, and
Maybe
at
not
that
wait
point,
to
like
that
while there is
guy.
this very intense stare down, so to say, it is at that point that also coming from inside the city proper, Shelly, alongside with Cobble, joins in and goes towards Cobble, goes towards Gem, and tells him that
He's Dulceață now.
it's fine, Gem. while I understand your worries and your skepticism towards this individual, after my experience with this turtle here, I've came to the conclusion that the Geom heart corruption can be controlled by those not of our own kin. So while it may be still, a good idea to keep an eye out, I suggest we welcome them in our community as we did previously. And Jem looks and gives a trusty nod towards Cobble and say, all right. Well, in this case, we welcome you to Rebel Grotto, and I might ask that you to understand just a bit of our concerns, and if anything, have us keep watch on you, as in if you are to stay over the night and provide lodgings, Cobble here can take you to stay over, right? Cobble gives a nod. Indeed, it would be my pleasure. And as such, like the monks from their defensive stance now will just go neutral. And while this scene goes on, you do notice that mainly, the rest of the Earth Genasi all still have that look of what's the word I'm looking for?
Mistrust.
Not distrust.
Suspicion.
A little bit of suspicion towards you, but that feeling of
Reluctance.
Stone cold individual.
no towards whisper.
We will evacuate.
Așteptări.
Expectation.
A very expected look towards
Expectant.
expectant look, and also that they look at you not really as towards a savior, but that very intense look and wow.
Okay, now is the moment that I have learned from past Goba. You don't remember, but
And they cast levitate, and they will go 1 feet, 2 feet, 5 feet, 15 feet, 30 feet up in the air.
stalagmite.
It's in a wide opening.
Falls back down.
So they will float into the air and say,
Earth-binding people, I was sent here beyond the Tempest fence from my people to send you an important message. I have to seek you and remember that you can be forgiven for your past transgressions. You are absolved of what you did, and you know it very well. I must open you with kindness and welcome you with kindness, as you have done with my friend here, Sipi and the Zoluks. You have to not allow the primary mentors to rise once again, and to avoid a violent implosion that will be ensured to come. Please join and heed this very troubling times.
Okay, and
she will they will then come back and lay gently on the earth.
Yeah. While you were up there giving the speech, you saw that there were a lot of Earth Genasi that came out of their dwellings observing this, and all of them seem to have been clutching some sort of monkish beads that as you were reciting those they were all pretty much praying and reciting a hymn, and then after finishing your speech again with your 1 million perception, you could actually see on their looks sort of a guise of relief and like just that sort of internal happiness sort of manifesting, that they're still kind of trying to contain it, but you know they just can't let out this small smirk as they just keep on chanting and in sort of in their way thanking you and for this. And
Now that you have been forgiven, do with that forgiveness whatever you wish. But beware that whatever your decision is, it is to protect our Mother Earth. And then I would ceremoniously touch the earth.
I want to just kneel before them and sort of say, they are God. They are definitely a God. Then start praying to whisper.
I mean,
It's just what kind of
what it
it.
is.
I mean,
oh my god,
they did a whole scene. They were written on the Rosetta Stone. Because, by the way, as a thing, I just wanted to ask: they did translate what was written on the Rosetta Stone, correct?
Yeah, so it's the first part, which was because the Rosetta Stone had all sorts of different these dialects from Prime Windical to Terran, Ignan, and Aquan.
Ah, okay. And Aquan?
Aquan. Yeah. But the first one that was in
And what
Terran,
was the fire one? No?
Ignan.
Igna.
Oh wow!
Ignan.
Oh, these are actually. You're not mocking us,
No.
okay? I'm
Igni
kidding.
is fire in Latin.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, to ignite the fire.
So yeah, on that tablet it said, like the first one, which was in Terran that Gem told you,
Yes.
it was the fact that they had to do this sort of explosion and like to destroy the old world in order to combat the prime elementals. And there were again some weird details probably of why, how and such that were in Aquan and Ignan, but at the end, the last phrase at the bottom, which was in Prime Windical, it said that and once all this is and once all this is done and we will emerge once again in the new world, we shall all
our
become,
transgressions?
we shall all unite and our past transgressions will be
Okay.
forgiven. And that's the thing, because they didn't know the rest of the text, but now it whispers help
Ah, okay, I understand.
kind of help them as well to understand, because from their point of view all they know is that they did this explosion to destroy their civilization, and sort of from their point of view they've been living with this weird regret or weird history
Okay.
twisted sort of, but now putting it a bit more in context, not fully,
Liberating
because
the once-slaved people by the creators.
so yeah, after all this, Gem also gives a nod and thanks you. Right, let us go to your dwellings, and you deserve a well night's rest. We'll provide you with meals and everything, and regarding the rest of the history with Boar and the Geom Heart, we'll talk it tomorrow. And this is where we'll end the episode, with you going towards
Can we at least eat Hagrid's rock cakes?
Hagrid's rock cakes. Oh,
Because you said
They
they're
couldn't
gonna
afford.
provide
They couldn't
meal.
afford the license for that.
but yeah, we'll pick it up next time with you now
I'm super excited. I want to know what happens.
exploring Gravel Grotto. Actually, yeah, with
And maybe not dying.
it's fine.
Okay.
I mean,
It can
yeah, will
happen.
be. I don't know, but
What?
yeah, it seems like the dice have been cast for tonight. But before we go, we have our fun fact from who?
Oh no! Who said the owl? Okay, so Mich, grilled means meat rolls, Romanian rolls, as some of us would do. Inside jokes, guys, sorry. They are translated to small ones, they go great with beer, and they tend to be as small as an adult finger, sometimes. They are really delicious and super popular. We eat them on barbecues, on street food, cottage weekends, and birthday celebrations. Yes, when there's a barbecue, there is always meat.
Yeah.
Right, and it can be smelled from miles away, and
Like a tasty smell, not a weird one.
I mean, yeah, a tasty smell of, you know,
Like barbecue.
like a barbecue smell and digestion.
Draws in
And they're super easy to make because you make them with mincemeat, a little bit of bicarbonate in English.
Yeah.
What is it called? Bicarbonate?
I think it's baking powder.
Yeah, baking powder.
Baking powder. See, I did the furculision. So for the mixture, you need pork sausage-like portions of minced meat. Then a little bit of bicarbonate, aka baking powder. And then you did shape them into a sausage-like thingy, and then it becomes like juicy on the inside, crispy on the outside. Savor them with mustard or your favorite sauce and a little bit of beer.
their happiness.
Let's go get meat, guys.
Yes.
Yeah,
Right.
sure.
The skinless Romanian sausage.
Exactly.
Pretty much, yeah. Cool. So, thank you so much for joining us tonight, guys. And until next time, bear hugs.
You
Good
can
night.
You can find us eating meat.
And yeah,
Well,
we'll be at the
don't
Mitch.
let the
Don't let the
vampires
vampires bite.
Let the vampires die.
Bite the meat.